Let me start with a strange question. What if you're under a spell right now? I don't mean magic. I don't mean something dramatic or something obvious. I mean something subtle, quiet, comfortable. What if the way you see the world, what you think is normal, what you think matters, what you think power looks like, has been reshaped or has been shaped not by the truth, but by a story you didn't even realize you were believing? Because that's usually how spells work, right? They don't feel dangerous, they feel familiar. I remember C.S. Lewis in The Silver Chair, one of the Chronicles of Narnia, and near the end of the story, three characters, they finally find Prince Rilian. They received a mission from Aslan to find Prince Rilian. And right at that moment, the enchantress shows up. And she doesn't attack them. She doesn't fight them. She lights a fire. She plays soft music. She fills the room with a sweet-smelling smoke. And then she starts asking gentle questions. Are you sure there is such a thing as the sun? Have you ever really seen this so-called overworld? Isn't it more likely that all of this was just a dream? And slowly, their memories fade. They forget their mission. They forget who they are. They even start to forget Aslan. Until Puddleglum does something shocking. He steps into the fire, he burns himself, and the pain wakes him up. And he says, even if Aslan's world isn't real, I'd rather live as if it is than bow to your lies. And that moment breaks the spell. And that moment is exactly what the book of Revelation is about. Revelation is God's word to a church under a spell. A church that's in danger of forgetting who it is. Forgetting who really rules the world. Forgetting where history is going. And many people approach the book of Revelation with fear or confusion or obsession. They treat the book of Revelation like a secret code to crack, a code about the end of the world. But what if Revelation is not a puzzle to solve, but a wake-up call? Revelation was written to real churches in real cities living under the Roman Empire. And Rome didn't usually persecute Christians with violence at first. That came later. But Rome tempted them. Rome offered peace. Rome offered prosperity. Rome offered belonging. And all Rome asked in return was a little compromise. A pinch of incense to Caesar, because Caesar is Lord. A quiet participation in the system. A willingness to say, well, this is just how the world works. And Rome told a powerful story. Caesar is Lord. Rome is eternal. Comfort is worth obedience. And the book of Revelation says that story is a lie. The book pulls back the curtain and shows what's really going on behind the scenes of history. Revelation shows us a throne in heaven. Revelation shows us the Lamb who was slain. It shows us that what looks like weakness is actually victory, and what looks like power is often idolatry. And Revelation doesn't just give us some content, some information. Revelation reshapes our imagination. That's one of the purposes of the book of Revelation, to reshape our imagination. And that's why it's filled with symbols and images. Because the problem isn't that we don't know the truth. The problem is that we stop seeing it. We stop seeing it. We can know all the right doctrines, and we still live like functional pagans, formed more by culture than by Christ. And our world is very good at telling stories as well, like Rome. Our world tells us that what success looks like. It tells us what safety means. It tells us what we should fear and what we should desire. Through screens, through ads, through politics, through endless noise, and slowly we start believing the spell. And we start thinking, maybe this really is all there is. And Revelation was written to break that spell. Revelation was written to say, look again. There is a throne above every throne. There is a kingdom that cannot be shaken. There is a judgment coming, not to destroy creation, but to heal it, to renew, to restore. And here's the key point. The church is not a spectator. The church is a witness. Christians, we are witnesses. And Revelation calls Christians to faithful endurance, to worship the Lamb instead of the idols of the age, to resist compromise even when it costs something. Now, I know that's hard because compromise always looks reasonable in the moment. But the book of Revelation reminds us that history is not moving toward chaos. History is moving toward renewal. The end of the story is not the world burning, it's the world being restored. A new heaven, a new earth, a new Jerusalem. So what does this mean for us right now as we study the book of Revelation together? It means we need to ask hard questions. What stories are shaping me? What am I trusting for security? Where have I confused comfort with faithfulness? And the book of Revelation calls us to resist the false narratives of our age, to refuse to bow to Babylon, whatever form it takes in our time, to remain loyal to Jesus Christ, even when it's inconvenient or costly, because the Lamb has already won, not by violence, not by domination, but by the cross. And once you see that world, once your eyes are opened, you can't unsee it. Fear starts to lose its grip. Worship replaces anxiety. Hope replaces despair. So the book of Revelation is telling us, don't fall asleep. Don't just drift through faith on autopilot. Don't let the story of this world be louder than the story of Christ, the story of the Bible. Lift your eyes, see the Lamb, and follow him. God bless you.